Hi guys, welcome to this video. So in this video, we are going to create this pulley support assembly. So we are going to create around 7 parts, as you can see in this drawing. Like we are going to create all these 7 parts and we are going to assemble all these parts. Okay. So I know it's been a long back we are coming into this Creo because like for the last few 9 videos like I have uploaded only for the jet engine, so it took more time than I imagined. Like it took over like 9 days for that. So now we are back into creating some parts and assemblies. So in this video we are going to create this pulley support. Okay, so this is the drawing that I have created. So I don't have time for converting this as a PDF. So let me just view as a drawing format in this video, and then I will upload this PDF on the description link. Okay, so let's create this part. So for that, let me click on new. Okay, so before that I'm going to close this. So let's select the working directory. So for the working directory, yeah, I'm just going to select this as a new folder as pulley support. Okay, so now let's go for the parts. Okay, so before that yeah, let me open the drawing first. Okay, okay, good. So now, yeah, so now let's go for the new, and for the part one, let me name it as part one because I don't know the exact name of those parts. So let me go on with this part one as a name, and as our template as MMNS part solid ABS. Okay, good. So now at first let me turn on all these datum planes. So here we can start with our first part. So let me just zoom it. So this is the part that we are going to create it. Okay, so this is it's a kind of frame part. So I don't have exact images for the assembly, so you will be able to understand this entire assembly either by seeing on our thumbnail video, or else like at the end of this video you can be able to view this entire assembly. Okay, okay, so this total length as 31.25 and this height as 42.5. Okay, okay, let me go for the front plane sketch and then go for the sketch view. Here at first I'm going to create a constructive corner rectangle like this, and this total height as 42.5 and then this length as 31.25. Okay, I think it's right. Okay, good. So now let me just drag this dimension outside so that it will be very good for viewing, right? So let me go for the normal line like from here till here and like this. Okay, so then let me go for the drawing again, and here we have a distance of 5 and here as a 5. Okay, and then what else do we have here? Yeah, I think it's fine for me. So let's go for the line and draw a line like this, and this will be 5, and one more line from here till here as I keep equal constraints for these two, so it will be same as a 5. Okay, so let me just draw a line from here till here until here. So we have completed our profile. So let's go for the extrude. So extrude for the symmetric extrude. So we just turn on this shading with edges, so it will be very easy for view these corners. Okay, so here this extrude length as 20. Okay, so here it's enter value of 20 and then okay. So now let me go for the drawing again. You can see there is a like a thickness for this. Okay, so the thickness value is 1.25 here and here, like it is the same thickness for all these edges. Okay, and on the top and bottom you don't have any closed edges. Okay, okay, so let me go for this first, and we can directly, yeah, we can directly go for the shell. Select this surface and control key plus select this surface. So the thickness value will be 1.25. Yep. Okay, so now we need to remove this edge and this edge. Okay, So let me go for the extrude, and on this extrude let me use this reference like this and this. Okay, so then we can directly draw a corner rectangle like from here till here. Okay, so now flip the direction, remove material, and then okay. So now we have to do the same for this side also, for the bottom face. Extrude and take a reference for this plane, and this. Okay, let me just go for the sketch view. Okay, so here we need to draw the same which we have done like before, and I'm going to draw like a corner rectangle like this. Okay, so now flip the direction, and then okay. So now we have completed our profile, right? So let me just go for the drawing again, and here you can able to see we have done this outer profile. But for the inner profile, like we need to create one like a triangle surface on this. Okay, so this triangle height will be 40 and 27.5 from this inner side. Okay, okay, 27.5 from this edge. Okay, so now we can directly get into this like 40, 27.5. Okay, so for this, I'm going to select this surface, extrude, and go for the extrude view. So here, let me just take a reference for this, and for this. Okay, we don't want this. So I'm just going to draw a line or a constructive line. Okay, or else you can directly go for the point. Okay, here and okay. So let me just take a reference for this and this first, and then let's go for placing the point like here and then here. So let me go for the dimensions. So for this height, like from here, let me just here it is from this face to the face 40. Okay, so from this face to this point, it will be 40. Okay, and then from this point to this face, like it will be 27.5. Okay, so let me just check for the one more time, 27.5. Okay, so now we can directly merge these 2 points by using a line tool. Okay, from here till here and up to this reference, because we need this as a solid part, right? So let me just close all these edges, and then okay. So now for the extrude length, like I think that will be the same extrude length for this also. So okay, so that will be 1.25 as the same which we have used for this thickness, right? Okay, so then we need to do this for this side also. So I'm just directly going to mirror this with the center plane. Okay, so now we have completed this profile. Okay, so we can go for the surface, and let's go for the x2 for creating an inner surface. Okay, so let's go for the diagram, and let's have a view here. So we need to create this surface, right? So for this, like they have mentioned total height as 22.5 and the width as 7.5. Okay, so let me take a reference for this. Okay, and then I'm going to draw a center rectangle like yeah, like this. And then let's go for the dimensions, like from here till here it will be 3 and then 22.5. So from here till here it will be 3 and this height will be 22.5. Okay, then this width as 7.5. Okay, 7.5. Okay, so now let's go for the extrude. So for this, like they have mentioned this extrude length as value of 5. Either you can type 5 here, but if we type 5 here, like we need to, like you can see this surface is extruded from this face, but they have mentioned the total length of this extrude is 5. Or else like you can subtract this with 1.25. Okay, and then you can able to get this height value as with the reference. Okay, or else like you can directly go for the next surface and you can select this surface, and then you will be able to um, get the length of based on this reference. Okay, So then let's click on OK here, and now like we need to create whole feature for this. So let's go for the extrude and let's select this face. So now I'm going to take this as a reference, and then I'm going to draw two circles like this and like this. So I'm going to make these as equal constraints here, and then let's go for the diagram here, and here you can able to see this radius as 1.25. Okay, so here it is like 1.25, so you need to multiply it with 2, so then we can able to get the diameter value. And for the dimensions, go for the reference for this plane, and yeah, it's okay. So now they have mentioned like from this midpoint to the top plane, yeah, to this top face we have 4.5, so this will be 4.5, and then this distance value is 10. Okay, so yeah, go for the dimension, select this center point and this center point, this distance value as 10. Okay, so then click on OK here. We just flip the direction, and it will be the through wall extrude, so I'm just directly going for the through wall, and then OK. So I think like we have completed our first part. Okay, so then we can go for the second part here. Okay, so let me just save this. Yeah, I think this working directory. Okay, then for the new part I'm going to rename it as part 2, and unclick the default template here, and then OK. And for this, and I'm gonna spot solid ABS. Okay, good. So yeah, let me just close the old part here. Okay, this will be the new part 2. So for this, I'm directly go for the front sketch extrude, and let me go and see the diagram here. Okay, so yeah, this will be the front view, and this outer circle has a radius of 7.5, and outer circle is like this. Okay, so we don't want this, we need this inner circle, so it will be 5.63. So let's draw a circle like 5.63. It is a radius, right? So we need to multiply it with 2, so level 0.26. Okay, so I think this is like a level 0.25. I think we have done some wrong dimensions here. Okay, so let me just click on OK here, and now I'm going to extrude this as a symmetric extrude. Okay, and let's see the extrude length as 31.25. Okay, so 31.25, and then okay. So for the next thing, like here, yeah, like we need to create this outer circle. So for this, like we have a radius of 7.5. Okay, so let me just go for this. So this face extrude circle with the diameter value, and one circle with the same reference, because we are going to create this as a solid, right? So this will be 7.5 multiplied by 2 as a radius, the diameter value. Okay, so then okay, I think okay, sorry. Okay, so now for this extrude, I'm just going to flip the direction, and like we, what else dimension, like we have, so we have a start point of 8.76. Okay, so options for the side 2, like we have a distance of 8.76. Okay, so from that, like 8.76 plus we have some separate extrude value, right? So here you have 2.5, so we need to add this value plus 2.5. Okay, so let's click on OK here, and then now we have completed our second profile here. And then like we are left with this whole parts, like we have two diameter parts here. Okay, So sorry. So now let's go and create this whole feature. So this whole feature is of so this outer dia has a radius value of 188. Okay, so the inner will be 125 and this depth as 21.75. Okay, so let me just go for this and select the surface, extrude. So for this I'm going to draw a circle. So here the diameter value, like yeah, it will be 2.5. Okay, because we have radius value here, right? So as you can see here. Okay, so yeah, so 2.5 for this, and yeah, let me just check for the one more time here. Okay, so this will just be 2.5 and yeah, this will be like 0.88. Okay, so now so this will be 2.5. Okay, so let's go for the extrude and okay here, yeah, sorry. So let me just go for this and let's see the diameter. Yeah, this radius value is 1.88, right? So sorry, 1.88 multiplied by 2, so it will be 3.76. So that there will be some tolerance value for this, so I'm going on this value of 3.75. Okay, so and then flip the direction, and this depth value is of 21.75. Okay, so then we need to create another hole here, like you can see here, right? So this radius value is 1.25, so this will be as a diameter value of 2.5. Okay, so let's select this surface, or else like you can directly select back surface. Okay, so let's go for the extrude and let's go for the extruded view here. So I don't want a sectional view, and then here I'm going to add like a diameter value of 2.5, as it has like 1.25 as a radius value, so diameter it will be 2.5. Okay, so let's extrude this, flip the direction, like you can drag like this, or else let's click this through all extrude function here. Okay, so now we have completed a second part here, like you can see like we have done all these dimensions inside this. So let's go and save this part and let's move on for the next part here. Okay, okay, so let's close this. So now let's go for the sheet 2. Here we have around 5 parts here, so let's zoom into the third part. So let's click on new here, and this will be okay, part 3, and then the unit as remember spot solid ABS. Okay, so for this, like we have a front view of diameter value of 30 and the whole feature value of radius 5.63, and this extruded value is a value of 10. Okay, so yeah, sorry. So for the front plane, just going on here and let me draw a circle. Okay, so now we need to enter this diameter value. So we have know the value, right? So let's enter a value of 30 here, and now I'm going to extrude this. Okay, so let's extrude this to a depth of 10. Okay, so then click on OK. So let's go for the drawing again. As you can see, we have created a circle of diameter value of 30 and we have extruded length of 10. Okay, so then we need to create a whole feature for this. So that whole diameter value is like a radius of 5.63, so the diameter value will be around 11.25 something. Okay, so select the surface, extrude, and go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to draw a circle. So this diameter value as 11.25. Okay, so now let's flip the direction. Let's make it as a through wall extrude, and then okay. So now we need to create yeah, like this surface, like they have provided only the angle of 45 degree and the distance value as 2.5. So let's select this center plane. Let's go for the sketch because we need to use revolve tool for this, or else like you can directly go for the extrude, but for this we need to go for the sketch. let's take a reference on this top face, and yeah, let me just draw a line like this, and this distance value as 2.5, and yeah, we can directly draw a line like from here till here, and we need to assign this angle value, so this will be 45, and now we can able to delete all these lines here. So this will be, it's the same, right? Like 45 divided by 2. Okay. So now let's complete this sketch by drawing a line like this, and then we need to create a center line for the revolve. Okay, so then we can go for the revolve. So now we have completed this profile, and then click on OK. So yeah, that's all with our part 3. So let's save our part. Okay, so now let's close this, and now let's move on for the part 4. So let's go for the new and rename it as part 4, and click the default template, and template as a spot solid ABS. So for this, like it will be like a very simple part, like yeah, this outer radius as 15 as a diameter, and inner wall as like a 1.88 as a radius. Okay, the thickness value is 1. So let's go for the sketch view here. It's a full view here. So front plane, extrude, and go for the sketch view. So here I'm going to draw a circle with a diameter of 15, and then okay, now let's extrude this, or else we can able to create the whole feature in the sketch itself. So let's go for the hole here, and this diameter value, like it will be 3.75. Okay, so this extrude length, I'll make it as a symmetric extrude first, and then this extrude length as 1. So now we have completed our part 4, right? So let's save this part, and then like we can go move on for the part 5. So create our new part, let's rename it as part 5. Okay, I'm gonna spot solid ABS. Okay, so minimize this. So this will be like a 6-sided hexagon or pentagon. I think it can be a pentagon, right? So here, like yeah, we like they have mentioned this distance as a value of 16 here, and like we need to create an extruded whole surface for this. So this circle, like yeah, this circle diameter value as yeah, 1.25, so it will be diameter of 2.5. Okay, and this length as 30, and this extruded length as 3.75. Okay, so now we can directly go for this as a front plane extrude, go for the sketch view. So for this I'm going on with the palette, 6-sided hexagon. Select the center point, close this, and now I'm going to drag this towards the center point, and then click on OK. So now we need to assign this dimension length as 16, right? So I'm going to select this, and now I don't want the 62.92 value, so I'm just going to delete this, and yeah, let's see this height value as 16. So let's assign this value as 16 here. Okay, so now let's go for the dimension, and let's place this as a midpoint of 0, and this will be 0. Okay, fine. So click on OK here, and I'm going to extrude this like to a value of 3.75, like yeah, 3.75. Okay. So now let me go for this back surface, extrude, and go for the extrude view. So for this I'm going to draw a circle with the radius value of 1.25, so the diameter will be 2.5. Okay, 1.25 multiplied by 2, 2.5. Okay, so this extrude length as 30. Yeah, so this extrude length as 30, and then okay. So yep, like we have completed our part 5. So let's save this part. Okay, and then let's go move on with this part 6 here. So click on new, part 6, and then click the default template. Okay, So I'm gonna spot solid ABS as our template here. So this will be like the same as six-sided hexagon with a height of 8 and extruded length of 6. Okay. So yep, front plane sketch. Go for the sketch view here. So yeah, this will be six-sided hexagon. Let's drag it to the center point and let's edit this dimension like from here till here. Let's delete this and this will be a value of 8 and this will be first let's make it as a value of 0 and then let's make it as a value of 4, so it will be the midpoint, right? So let's extrude this. Okay, let's extrude this to a value of 6. Okay, so yeah, 8 and 6 and then a circle with a radius of 1.88 to an extruded length of 21.25. Okay, so let's let this back surface extrude and let's go for the extruded view. I'm going to draw a circle like yeah, with the diameter value yeah, like they have provided a value of 1.88, so we can directly go on with this. Okay, so let's enter a value of 1.88 multiplied by 2, so let's have a round up value of 3.75. Okay, so now let's extrude this. So this extruded length as 21.25. Okay, so then okay, so now we have completed our part 6, so let's save our part and let's move on for our part 7. Okay, so this is our final part for this assembly and then unit assembly spot solid ABS. Okay, so let's go for the, let's close this, let's go for the drawing. So for the part 7 it will like a very simple part. Okay, so this height as 4.3, extruded length as 3. Okay, so front extrude palette as the same six-sided hexagon here, place at somewhere else and let's drag it to the center point. Let's go for the dimensions from here till here. Yeah, so this as a value of 4.3, so this will be 4.3 divided by 2, 2.15. Yep, okay, and then I need to create a hole feature for this, so that hole value is of radius 1.25, so this will be 2.5. Okay, think right. Yeah, okay, so now let's extrude this as a symmetric extrude and this extrude length value of 3 and then okay, so now we have completed all our 7 parts, so let's save this final part and let's close this and now let's go for the assembly for this. Okay, so let's go for the new assembly and this will be like pulley support. Okay, and then our unit as some design ABS. Let's go for the assembly view. So for this I'm going to assemble our first part as our base part. Let's go for this. Okay, so I'm gonna make this as a default constraint, so let's make it as a default and then okay. So now let's go on for the other parts. So for the next part I'm going to assemble this back rod, so let's go for this and like, part 3. Okay, so like this. So I'm just going to flip this, so we don't want to create any kind of mechanism for this, so I'm just directly going on for the pin, or else like you can go for your default constraints. Okay, use a defined path. So from here till here I don't want this, I just want to make this as a distance like this. Okay, so then for the second part let me just turn on all this except the axis display. So let's place our next part. I'm just going to place this small net. Okay, same as pin, select this and select this and select this surface and this surface make it as a distance. I'm just going to drag it like this. Okay. So now let's place our next part. So next part will be our part 2, I think so. Yeah. So our part 2. So the same as pin. So this center axis and this center axis. And let me just drag like this. And this face should coincidence with this inner surface, as you can see here, right? Okay, it got coincidence successfully. And you can see the inner bolt is got some hidden here, so we don't want to worry about that. Like we can directly edit this. Let's go for the distance. I'm just going to drag it like this towards front side, and then okay. And now we can directly go for this bolt, and for the distance, just we can able to drag like this, right? Okay. So now we have completed our second, like we have assembled around 4 parts here. So let's go for the next part. So for the next part, I'm going to assemble the clamp like a washer. Okay, so yeah, this is a washer. So yeah, before that, like we need to assemble our third part here. So I'm going on with this like a pin. Select this surface, axis, and this axis, and this surface and this back surface. Okay, so now let's assemble our washer part. The same as a pin. Like why I am using this pin, because like if we need to constrain this based on our own, like it will take more time, because we need to make it as an axis coincident, plane coincident for those 3 axes, like x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. So then our part will be fully defined. Okay, so instead of spending more time on this, so this will be just assembly, right? So I don't want to make more time on this, so then I'm just going on to follow this. Okay, so I think we can able to expand this like, yeah, like this. Okay, so now let me move this. Okay, I think it is got placed good. So now I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we have left with only one part. So let's go on and assemble that part. So that will be our part 6. I'm gonna use the same pin, select this axis and this axis, and just drag like this. Select select this surface, and select like yeah, maybe like this surface. And for this, I'm going to make it as a distance of yeah, a distance of 1. So that will be the thickness of washer, right? So it will be placed on this surface. Okay, okay. So that's all, guys. Like we have done our only part, or else like if you need to give any appearances for your part, you can also give that. So let me just go for the metallic colors, silver color, like this for the entire part. Okay, yeah, or else you can able to select like this. Okay, so if you go for the shading with reflections, it will have some real look, like a metallic look for this. Okay, so yeah, guys, so that's all for this video. Like we have completed our pulley support here. So thanks for watching, guys. So if you want more videos related mechanical engineering or any other content, you can comment below. Or else if you need videos based on Power BI, or it may be like any kind of tools, like individual tools in Power BI, like a DAX functions or a visualization, you can comment below, and I will put more videos based on that. Okay. So thank you, guys. We will see you next video. Until then, bye.